Okay, hello there. So, Carson, tell people out there about your movie. How do I say the title? Eepus? Eephus?
Eephus, Eephus.
Eephus. Okay.
Yeah, Eephus. That is the name of a pitch in baseball that's quite rare. It's like a
Oh,
very slow lobbed pitch. There's a character in the movie who describes that pitch, and we realized when we wrote that monologue that is essentially a metaphor for the film itself, about a pitch that sort of moves so slow it stops time or recalibrates your expectation of timing in the baseball context. But thought it was a fun way to describe the movie as well. It also sounds like a comedy. I think the word is funny. So
yeah, and it is funny. This movie is funny, but I want to get to baseball. Have you been a big baseball fan in your life, or did you ever hate it?
no, never. No, I've always well, I wouldn't say I ever hated it. No, I was very serious about the game through most of my life. Early on, I played in traveling leagues. I played all kinds of leagues, and I was very serious about it. Yeah, it's just at some point I was hoping maybe I'll do this professionally. But I did grow sort of indifferent to it for a long time. I'd say mostly around late high school through college. I just was much more invested in film, and it took a back seat. But it wasn't until I moved out west to California, where the weather is always nice, you can play all year round, that I just decided I had this sort of hankering to get back to it, and joined a league out there, and that's when it started to plant the seed of the idea of what a community this can be. Like a rec league, middle aged people playing on a baseball field like that. That feels like something that hadn't been explored much in cinema. So I thought that's the story I can tell. And it also, as that was happening, I was just realizing how much baseball means to me personally, and even if I had sort of abandoned it for years.
Nice. And does the use or the focus on the national pastime is that used in as like a commentary overall on the state of America?
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too prescriptive about what that means and what you can take away from that. But I do feel that we are in a state in 2025 where baseball has lost some popularity. It was the ultimate pastime. It was the sort of central entertainment, sports entertainment in America for so long, and now it's just one option among many. And I think because of the sort of degraded state of the game and the new rules that have sped it up and made it sort of fit into all these other models of how we live now, I think something has been lost in that process. And I think that you can map onto that other kind of takeaways about the state of America in 2025 as well. If
Is
the
that like
pastime
maybe
degrades, everything else degrades with it. Maybe.
right? It's like the abandonment of the monoculture.
Yeah. That's part of it, but in the context of Eephus, the abandonment of extracurricular activity, of public space, of just being in public with other people to do something you love that doesn't have a profit motive. It's just about getting out there on a field and doing what you love. So I think that because of the speed of life in America in 2025, and the way in which we're all sort of, so many people are working multiple jobs, and so much of our physical world is being redeveloped, and we're losing a lot of green space. All these things was what I was kind of thinking about as I put this film together, because I feel like when we lose activities that bring us together like this, like you see in Eephus, you also lose some important binding glue that brings people together and sort of lets us kind of look past other differences.
I love it. So this movie played the director's fortnight category at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, were you at all influenced by the theater of the absurd or French existentialism?
Not very directly, but I know what you mean. I'm certainly inspired by films like Buñuel's discreet charm of the bourgeoisie. I know he's not French, but are you thinking of like? Are
I'm
there
thinking
anyone? Is there anyone in
like
particular you're thinking of?
waiting for Godot. You know, there's just like this single
Yeah,
space,
yeah, yeah.
and then sort
Samuel
of
Beckett. Yeah,
yeah, right, and just sort of like the bizarreness or the drollness, and maybe like some underlying thematic that is like maybe intuitive to a level, but a little dense and little wordy and f like miserable and fun at the same time.
yeah, yeah. You're yeah. This is something I'm very drawn to. I'm not. I need to brush up on my theater, to be honest. I do like Beckett, but I would say that more so, the film is in conversation with the films that have been inspired by Beckett, by the theater of the absurd, and films like Stranger Than Paradise, like Jarmusch, or
Right.
um, like Roy Anderson's work. You know, as someone like Songs from the Second Floor is a film I love. I've always been drawn to films that are about uh, kind of like communities facing the end of something and kind of the absurdity that results from that as they try to navigate a very uncertain future. That to me is can be very funny and also very poignant and deal with questions of mortality that are, I wouldn't say they're always on my mind, but it just is that life, to deal with life directly is to deal with death as well. So yeah, these are films that I'm very inspired by, that which themselves were inspired by the theater of the absurd. So yeah, it's just it guess it's in my DNA. It's just part of my taste. So it naturally led me to a game that feels never ending, that yet will end and has a very clear expiration date. And it's sort of just about these people trying to ward off the inevitable. I find that very poignant.
Nice. Yeah, this is like connective tissue, I guess. So what would you say though is the if you had to boil it down, the the one film in terms of atmosphere that you would link this to?
Um, I've said it before, and well, it's tough to limit it to one. But I
Right.
am very, like I said, I was very drawn to all these films about the end of something. So I watched. I've always been a huge fan of Last Picture Show and Prairie Home Companion, and one that really stands out, and I've compared Eephus to many times, is Goodbye Dragon Inn by Simon Liang, the uh, the Taiwanese director.
Oh yeah, he's
Uh,
great.
yeah, just that film is about the closing of a cinema and the way that he structures it. There's not a lot of dialogue for those who don't know, but so it's very different from Eephus in that sense. But the way he navigates between the central event, which is the screening and the auditorium, and everything around it, like the hallways around it, and just shows you all these different people that occupy the space for whom it means something. That was really important to me, and I think something that Prairie Home Companion also does is, move around that space and show you all the different workings of what brings a theater, or sorry, what brings that event onto stage. Um, so I was very inspired by that, just as a storytelling device, um, and uh, and also there's a character in Prairie Home Companion that played by Virginia Madsen, that where she's just sort of wandering around the outskirts of the theater and all white. And I thought I need a character that's like that in my film, so that ended up being Bill Spaceman Lee, the former Expos and Red Sox pitcher, who comes in from the outfield, which in a scene that many have reminded many of people of Field of Dreams, where he sort of just shows up and wearing this like silver jumpsuit and then gets out there on the field and pitches an inning and then disappears. Another piece of absurdism that it was really important to me to get that in the movie. So
Amazing. Field of Dreams is the first movie I saw theatrically, and I was wondering, since you were talking about Goodbye Dragon Inn and seeing similarities with that, how important is the theatrical experience for you? And do you go to the movies often? What do you think about this shift of, I saw a film last night, One Battle After Another, amazing IMAX experience. There were like
yep.
20 people there. What the heck is going
Really?
on? Yeah.
That's interesting because everywhere I've been in the last week, it's been sold out constantly. So
Fair
I
enough.
guess,
It's like a Tuesday night at 10 p.m., but like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
cheapo Tuesday. It's like I always expect, and this is not like New York City that I'm talking about. It's Ottawa, Ontario, but still, like
Yeah.
that wouldn't be the case like pre-COVID, let's say.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I share all these concerns. I grew up going to the movie theaters. This is that it was just the way to see a movie. I grew up in the '90s. I took it for granted. It's like this is just the standard way to do it. And over time, more and more people are moving to streaming and all this. That doesn't interest me very much. I don't watch. I find it very hard to. I like the captivity of a movie theater. You know, you are stuck there in the dark, and you have to devote all of your attention to it. It's about immersion, and watching it in my house can be tricky with other things going on and distractions and all this. I do it, of course, like anyone else, but that's what I value is going to movie theaters. I probably go to the cinema 3 times a week on average. During normal times, lately I haven't been able to go as much, but I think that the slow decay of cinema going is analogous to the same slow decay of baseball in terms of its hold on the national consciousness, and that and the movie the Eephus was an attempt to kind of ask questions about that. You know, what does it mean for our culture to rally around something so in such a significant way, and then for it to sort of fall to the sidelines? That's where does that leave us, and what does that mean for our sense of identity? So yeah, I mean, certainly movie going is really critical to me, and it was very important that Eephus had a robust theatrical run, as robust as I could make it, with our distributor in the U.S. and elsewhere. But unfortunately, that has happened. I've worked with people that have really cared about putting it out in movie theaters, but now it's mostly living online, at least here in the States. So I'm glad that there's still opportunities to bring it back to movie theaters.
And do you like physical releases of movies? You like Blu-ray?
Yeah, yeah. We actually have a Blu-ray for Eephus that is
Yeah.
really it's an awesome package. We worked really hard on all the extras, so encourage you to buy that. But yeah, I do value that a lot. I used to review Blu-rays quite a bit for Slant Magazine,
Oh,
so
cool.
I have a pretty big collection that
Nice. What are some of
value
the features on the Blu-ray?
on the Eephus Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh, we got behind the scenes video. We have sort of making of stuff. We have deleted scenes. We have little Easter eggs in there, like other radio spots that we recorded that didn't make their way into the film. A bunch of behind the scenes photos, multiple commentaries, including one with like 12 cast members at the same time. So it just becomes this cacophony. Uh, it's a it's a fun one. I recommend it for sure.
Yeah, nice. Have you seen there's this label I'm sure you've heard of, Cinematograph,
Yes, I think I have. Yes.
and they did a release called Bang the Drum Slowly. Are you familiar
Yep.
with that one?
Yeah, I am. I don't not the release, but the film. Yeah.
Right, right. Is there do you feel kinship to that one? I haven't seen it yet actually.
I haven't seen the film either, so
Okay.
I know of it.
We both just know it exists.
I know it
It's
exists. Yes.
okay. All right, okay. Well, I'm trying here. And then I noticed you have a bunch of writers on this. It's not just you. There's two other people. And so how
Yeah.
does that work?
Yeah, it's I've always enjoyed writing things with friends. I don't anytime I try to do it myself, I run into walls more often. I think it's really important to have people there to bounce ideas off of and just to come up with jokes on the fly. I mean, I am very attracted to comedy, so I think that really benefits from having other funny people around you. Um, but the way it was written with two very close friends. Like my one of them is Mike Basta, who I grew up with in New Hampshire, and we've always worked together. So we're kind of on the same page. And the other co-writer, Nate Fisher, was someone I met later in life, but is very much a we're on this. We share a lot of taste and share a lot of sensibilities with movies, and he's also a baseball fan, and he kind of was drawn to the early idea. So it made a lot of sense to work with him as well. We had to do it a lot over Zoom actually because it was we wrote the film through COVID to a large degree, which was kind of a limitation, I would say. When we finally got in a room together, it really flowed, but we had built a very solid outline before we actually got in a room together. And a lot of it had to do with just like building lineups, building kind of like a box score for the game that is depicted in the movie. And once we had all that, we could kind of figure out how to story tell around it. So yeah, just it. I don't know if I would have been able to write this alone, or if it certainly would have been a very different film.
Do you like to get it all out, or do you like to brood over it for a long time?
You mean a script in
Yeah,
general?
yeah, yeah.
Well, it took a long time. I mean, the script took a year to write, I would say, but I don't want to dwell on it forever and think. Once I feel in the moment like we're in a good place with it, I want to share it with people, with trusted collaborators, and start seeing what is feasible the script writing process is not as fun for me.
Right.
It's hard work, and it can be, yeah, just really stressful to me. So I just want to get out there and make it. So the minute I feel good about it, I want to start sharing it around. I don't give myself another 4 months to think about it.
All right. And what is what is more popular than the baseball right now? MLB, is it at the NFL? Do you feel like the NFL is disrespecting baseball?
No, it's not disrespect. It just is more popular, frankly. It has become the national pastime. Um, it has a wider reach for whatever reason. It's baseball is the poetry, and that is that's the combat
Right.
of American culture. It's the gladiator match. I mean, I like football, to be clear, but yeah, I don't know. Nothing against football, but it certainly is more popular than baseball at this point, and so is NBA. I think
Mm.
people long for a lot of people need quick quick gratification because
I'm like that.
yeah, I mean, I love those sports too, but I think
I hate watching baseball
baseball,
and golf. It puts me to
base,
sleep.
yeah,
Basketball, there's points all the time, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like
But
obviously to
I would,
play like
yeah,
soccer, for example, like it's like a lot of work to run like that like much, an hour and a half. But there's
yeah.
like three goals. It's boring. I want to see like
Oh, I
the
agree about
pumps.
soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't get the nuance of soccer, but I
Right.
think if you tune into the nuance of baseball, you see so much. There's so much happening at all times, and that's what excites me. But also, it can be slow at times. There are times where nothing is happening, and to me, I think I'm someone who's always been comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with moments where nothing is happening. It puts you in a more meditative state, and I think movies can do that too. So I felt like there was a uh, natural harmony between baseball and cinema, and it was something I wanted to explore that made sense to me. So
What about the UFC? Do you like the UFC? And are you going to see the Smashing Machine?
I will see the Smashing Machine because I like Safties. Um, no, I don't watch the UFC at all though. Yeah,
Oh,
just
quick
that or
answer.
boxing.
Yeah.
Never have really gotten into that.
Oh, it's fun. I saw it at TIFF. It's a fun movie. But I have to let you go now, Carson. Thank you so much for your time. What is the final thought you'd like to end this interview with?
Well, I hope you enjoy Eephus and share it. Once you do enjoy Eephus, to share it with all your friends and let them know to go see it. And yeah, we can't wait to see how it does in Canada. I'm really excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.